Good evening. Welcome to the University of St. Thomas Graduate Business Commencement Ceremony. Before the ceremony begins, I would like to announce that a professional photographer will be on site this evening to take photographs. As such, we ask that guests not come to the front to take photos of their grads. They will be taken on your behalf. Lastly, I would welcome each of you to please take a look at your cell phones, and at this time, make sure that they are turned to the off position. At this time, let the procession begin.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this joyous occasion. Mr. Davis, university trustees, members of the faculty, members of the graduating class, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the University of St. Thomas Opus College of Business Graduate Business Commencement Ceremony. I am Dr. Christopher Puto, Dean of the Opus College of Business. Tonight, we assemble to honor the graduate business candidates and to present to them their master's degrees. Members of the Air Force ROTC Detachment Choir will lead us in the singing of the national anthem. The anthem will be followed by the invocation offered by Father Jalon Malone. We ask that you please stay standing for the national anthem and for the invocation.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through
Grateful for the blessing of our years together, and with great hope in the future which is open before us, let us pray. God, Creator and Father, we are, all of us, men and women of sincere promise, yet modest achievement. But even this human weakness is beautiful. It reminds us how much we need each other and you, God our Father. Come to us today, for we realize in a special way the frailty of human purpose and the power of human love. Together we have shared life and lived life. Together we have grown and loved. And now in your name we go forth to bring this gift to all we meet. But first, we stop to acknowledge our gratitude to you, God, for our gifts. The gift of those who support the University of St. Thomas with talent, time, and treasure. The gift of those who govern this university. The gift of those who have gone before us. The gift of those who teach in the classroom and in the theater of life by their example. Finally, we thank you for one another from whom we learn so much. Bless this evening. Bless our families who have supported us. Give us all the strength and commitment to serve you by service to others. Amen.
Please be seated. I now invite Father Dennis Dees, President of the University of St. Thomas, to the podium.
It is my honor now to introduce our commencement speaker, Mr. Richard Davis, and to present him with the honorary degree Doctor of Laws. This award is given by the University of St. Thomas to individuals of exceptional accomplishment and distinction who have made significant contributions to the university, state, region, and nation, or within their field of endeavor. Dr. Susan Huber, Executive Vice President and Chief Academic Officer, please would you come forward to read the citation that accompanies the medal.
Richard K. Davis. It has long been said that the best way to the top of an organization is to start at an entry-level position and work your way up. And you are an exceptional example of an individual who embarked on that challenging path to reach the pinnacle of success in your profession. A bank teller at the age of 18, it took you 8 years of night school to earn a college degree. But here you are, 3 decades later, as chairman, president, and chief executive officer of U.S. Bancorp, which has $340 billion in assets and is the 5th largest commercial bank in the nation. Born in 1958 in California, you received an economics degree at California State University at Fullerton in 1983 while working as a full-time teller at Security Pacific Bank in Los Angeles, a situation that you have called a character builder. You proved to be a natural in banking and were promoted into senior positions at Security Pacific. which was acquired by Bank of America in 1991. You moved to Cincinnati as Executive Vice President of Star Bank Corporation 2 years later, and subsequent acquisitions led to several executive positions at U.S. Bancorp, including CEO in 2006 and Chairman in 2007. Shortly after you took those jobs, the worst recession since the Great Depression hit the United States. You carefully steered U.S. Bancorp through the crisis by wisely avoiding subprime lending, quickly exiting the Trouble Asset Relief Program, and regularly meeting with President Obama and congressional leaders about regulatory reform and lending practices. At the same time, you began to execute a growth strategy through acquisitions and organic growth focused on consumer and wholesale banking, fee revenue, and credit cards. Your common sense leadership led to your selection as the 2010 chairman of the Financial Services Roundtable, an industry group representing the largest banks in the country. And you represent the 9th District on the Federal Reserve Board's Federal Advisory Council. Honors have included 2010 Executive of the Year by Minneapolis-St. Paul Business Journal, and 2010 Banker of the Year by American Banker magazine. An overused term is authentic leadership, but to me, Richard really embodies it. Bruce Nicholson, former chairman and CEO of Thrivent Financial, once said of you, "The public really wants the leaders of financial institutions to embody trust and integrity, and you don't have to spend a lot of time with Richard to see that he does." Such trust and integrity are characteristics that the University of St. Thomas also values. On this day, we commend you for your perseverance and your vision, and we proudly confer upon you the degree Doctor of Laws honoris causa. Congratulations.
Why don't you step over here and I'll hand you the floor and I'll see if you're going to move over. Okay.
Good evening. Thank you, Father Deese, and thank you to all of you for this honor of a lifetime. Dean Puto, Dr. Huber, Father Deese, graduates, university trustees, faculty, administration, family, and friends. May 6, 1954. Who was around in May 6, 1954? That was the day that Roger Bannister broke the 4-minute barrier. Now, on that particular day, as he was running through the tape, he would tell the story that for the first time ever, as he beat his colleagues, they mustered around him quickly and celebrated with him. And he thought, that's unusual because usually when I win, they don't talk to me. And while they were celebrating, they started pointing up to the rafters at the time. And the time read 3 minutes, 59.4 seconds. At which point he declared, well, surely that's a mistake, because we all know, and everyone believed at that time in life, that no human could run a sub-4-minute mile. And instead, upon the discovery that it was accurate, he too celebrated. But the story doesn't end there. More germane to the beliefs that happened after that are in the 365 days that followed May 6th of 1954, 288 human beings around the globe broke the 4-minute barrier. Now that's permission to believe. Something that wasn't believed before is now in fact possible. Tonight, I want to encourage our graduates to believe that anything is possible. Have you ever thought of a time in your life when you wanted to believe more than now that anything is possible? We're moving through a very difficult time, and we need leaders, more than we've ever needed leaders to move us to the next place. Tonight, we'll confer degrees, master's degrees. And in a very symbolic and similar way, this is where your momentum jumps. This is not just any degree. This is your master's degree. This is the fast-forward moment in your education life. And I believe that if you combine your newly acquired higher education with a new level of belief, that's very possible. In fact, anything can happen. Now, think about this, but most of you, either a few years ago or maybe a long set of years ago, were in a similar situation receiving your bachelor's degree. If you can remember that day or that night, you'll also remember that you were sort of expected to be there. You had a lot of people counting on you, paying for you, hoping it was done in 4 years, sometimes 5, but it was where you were supposed to be. But tonight, you're here because you wanted to be. You chose to go beyond that very impressive place and move on to your master's degree. Now that's very, very special. You could have decided easily to stop. You could have given up along the way. And I got to tell you, I know you just heard I've never achieved the stature that you have achieved tonight. But I do celebrate with you how hard it was to get here. Hard work, are you kidding me? Perseverance, OMG. The moments in time when you thought this is just never really going to happen, while the people in the back of the room might be thrilled that you're sitting here, they could not be more thrilled than you are to be sitting here. And so the question is, why are you here? Why are you here? And 93% of Americans will never achieve this distinction. Only 7%, actually 6.9% of the people in this great country will ever do what you've done here tonight. So what made you be in this room at this institution tonight? I'm going to suggest that one of the main reasons is because you believe. You believed in yourself first. And second, the people here tonight believed in you as well. And should you ever have started to give up on that moment where you thought it wasn't possible, you either dug deeper and found something that made sense to you to keep going, and or the people that are here tonight that love you and care about you joined you in that extra level of commitment. So tonight you open new doors. And this is very important because as a CEO of a company, a worldwide company with 64,000 employees, let me be one of the first people to confirm for you, evidentially, that this master's degree matters. It is a big deal. And the work you put into it will make a difference. Now here's the thing. I want to add to this because the distinction of receiving this special recognition as a master's from not just any business school, but from the St. Thomas Opus Business School. And now you are part of a fraternity of 17,000 others who've gone before you in a community that recognizes this degree as the absolute top of all recognition. And so you pride yourself by being here, not just as a master's candidate, but being as part of University of St. Thomas, an amazing institution created by the Catholic intellectual tradition. Now, graduation ceremonies all over the nation, today, yesterday, tomorrow, they will say, the world is now yours. You are now able to change the world with your hands, and you can now make a difference. It's true. Those are platitudes that I think apply to everyone here. But as a grad student, more aptly, you've already been making the world a better place. You've already been using your hands to change the future. And you have already been making a difference where you can. So maybe nothing really changes tonight at all, right? I think it does. You will leave here tonight the same person you walked into the room, but we will see you differently. You may not change, but when you leave here tonight with a master's degree from St. Thomas, your voice will carry louder. Your guidance will make more of a difference. We will be looking for your advice and seek you out. And perhaps more importantly, the power of this new education, which may be final only in its milestone tonight, coupled with your ability to believe, will truly change the future. How many of you remember Apollo 13? And if you didn't, you remember the movie, you young'uns. Captain Jim Lovell was the astronaut in charge of that fateful mission. A couple of years ago, I was invited to join Captain Lovell at the Abraham Lincoln Memorial Library in Springfield, Illinois. The bank that I work for was being host to a very special event. He was going to have his portrait revealed on the wall of this library. The third person only to do so, the first being Abraham Lincoln, the next being Rosa Parks. and that night, Captain Jim Lovell. So I wanted to get to know him better. I had read the book. I'd seen the movie. I remember the event, but I wanted to talk to him. So I arrived early, about an hour before the ceremony, and I said, would you go for a walk with me just around the campus? And so we did. And we walked very slowly, very methodically. We chatted for a while. And I said, Captain, what would be something that in all the times you've been recognized and feted, and all the times someone's announced something about you, something that no one's ever actually asked you, and something no one's ever told about you? And you know when you're driving a car real fast and you're about to stop and you quickly put your arm out to save the person in the seat next to you? Or you're coming close to a curb and the car's about to jump in front of someone, so you stop them? Unless, of course, you don't like them, and of course, you're guiding them along. We were walking at a snail's pace, and he stopped and put his arm out to stop me, as if we'd hit a nerve. He said, you know, no one's ever asked me that, but I do have an answer. He says, you see, Richard, I am a scientist to the core. It's what I am. It's what I wanted to be my whole life. And he said, when I got the call from Houston, that in fact, Houston, we have a problem, and I was told we had 91 minutes to solve it. For the first time in my life, as a scientist, I believed in my heart and not my head that something incredible was possible. I had no evidence. My colleagues down on Earth were given boxes of equal information to try to figure out a way to save our lives. I and my team were challenged to figure out ways to save the oxygen and move into the lunar module. He said, but I'm a scientist. I don't believe in stuff I can't see. And ladies and gentlemen, that night, we recognized a faithful man, not a religious faith, but a belief in something that he had never believed in before. And so tonight, your education is what we celebrate. But it's not just the education you receive when you come up here. It's the recognition of your perseverance, your diligence, your willingness to make an impact, and the fact that you've already believed enough in yourself to get here. Now believe in the rest of us to change our future. So when you come onto this stage and don this stage in a couple of minutes, I have a couple of favors from you, graduates. One is remember the moment. A lot's going to happen in the next few minutes. Don't miss this one. This is one to remember. I want you to hear the applause, maybe the loved one screaming out your name without official permission. I want you to feel the handshake that you will receive when you get up here. I want you to look at that diploma and realize it's symbolic of an amazing amount of work, and it says a lot about you. I want you to say a little prayer and thank whoever your God is for getting you here, and, of course, hoping you don't trip as well. Throw that in. But in each and every one of you, if I gave you the microphone as you approach this stage, you would be humble. You would thank everyone else but yourself for getting you here. You would share the credit with all the people that in your life from beginning to now, no matter where you are in your life to this moment in time. And you would probably look out and catch the eye, if you could, of the most special person in the audience. It could be another colleague. It could be a family member. It could be a professor. If you don't have a chance to do that, they know it. Tonight's that special moment where a lot of amazing things happen. So tonight's a big deal. Anything is possible. Be very, very proud of yourselves. We are honored to be in your presence tonight. And so take this advanced degree and do something very special with it, but couple it with your belief that amazing things can happen. Have you ever thought of a time in your life when you wanted to be in the presence of more people that could believe than now? Oh, and one more thing. Today, the current 4-minute mile is run in 3 minutes, 43.13 seconds. Let's break that barrier too. Congratulations. You inspire all of us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Davis, for those thoughtful, inspiring, and enduring words. At this point in the ceremony, we will begin the presentation of candidates. Father Dees, please join me on the stage. Professor Garrison and Professor Dunham, please prepare to hood the candidates. Ms. Bassarich County, please announce the candidates, beginning with the Master of Business Administration degree.
I have the honor to present to the President of the University the candidates for the degree Master of Business Administration, full-time UST MBA. Scott William Brownson. Pavitra Bandapati. Scott Richard Buell. Sarah Mae Christensen. Anthony Charles Clemens. Christine Cosentino. Nicholas Donald Ertz. Noah Freed. Daniel Jackson. Kyle Robert Jorgensen. Brian G. Cabot. Eugen Hahn. Jens Hoffman. Ethan William Keller. Eric M. Kirchner. Catherine E. Kirchner. Nicole Marie Klein. John Krensky. Michael Robert LaRusso. Annalise Marie Larson. Gregory Joseph Laughlin. Rachel Deborah Levitt. Theodore James Long, Jr. Trent Miller. Warren Nash. Gian Oku. Christian David Olson. Okeo Masasi. Summer Schneider. Christopher David Olson. Stephanie Renee Posh. Martina Christine Padilla. Stephanie Ponch. Gurkhan Pexos. Bhakti Raicha. Christopher Reed. Shay Sajovic. Alyssa Renee Sherb. Paul A. Schlossman. Danielle Brooklyn Nicole Scott. Eric Andreas Sharma. Patrick S. Searing. Ingrid Veronica Pacheco Torres. Elias Joel Way. Brett Wong. I now invite Mr. Corey Akins, Director of the Evening UST MBA program, to come to the podium.
I have the honor to present to the President of the University the candidates for the degree Business of Administration, Evening UST MBA program. Kristen Ackerman. Darla Jean Aman. Deborah Suzanne Anderson. Todd C. Andrews. Emily E. Arnau. John Oskelson. John Kenneth Awney. Daniel Paul Backer. Kobe V. Bardwell. Bruce Mark Becker. Christian Scott Beijing. John Edwin Beetlesbacher. Stephanie Ray Beedozemer. Scott Glenn Belseth. J.C. Marie Benton. Dana Lee Berg. Kirsten Berg. James Bergeman. Brett Comer Berry. Joseph Bidney. Laurent Billot. Bradley Joseph Bjorklund. Elizabeth Bjorkman Johnson. Stacy Lynn Besh. John K. Breka. Jacqueline Noel Brenner. Andrea Bricco. Matthew Brooks. Stephen Albert Brune. Mark John Bree. Jason Edward Burton. Craig Philip Caligiuri. Tia Michelle Cameron Barasoff. Heather L. Cameron Meixner. Pat Thomas Kavanaugh, Philip Thomas Catanaugh. Eric Marood Shelby. Michael Kahn. Ginger Diane Coker. Corey Nicholas Collins. Frank Robert Constantino. Zachary John Cernicki. Natalie Kalati. Ann Curry. Kristen Danielson. Jody Sickles DeJong. Michael Curtis DeRozier. Laurence DeConick. Todd Dean Degler. Brett David Erickson. Noah Emerson Forbes. Luisa Kopecki Foss. Elizabeth Ann Gavin. Joseph Douglas Gay. Melissa Marie Glenn. Mark Anthony Gottwalt. Lindsay Brooke Hollickson. Jody Lynn Heim. Ryan Helgeson. Danielle Michelle Henkels. Carl Evans Hensley III. Anne Marie Caniglia Hetland. Katie Jean Himes. Kristen Peterson Huff. Jacqueline Nicole Galligan. Daniel William Hughes. Benjamin John Jacobson. Luke Rolf Jacobson. Andy Jadu. Jesse A. Yanni. Stephen Arthur Jasinski. Sarah K. Jensen. Stephen Glenn Johnson. Benjamin Lee Johnson. Jeremy August Johnson. Kevin Lee Johnson. Megan K. Johnson. Steve Donnell Johnson. Amber Jean Johnston. Tina Marie Johnston. Jill Suzanne Jonas. Joan. She had it written out that way. Yeah. Sharon M. Jones. Timothy P. Jones. Bijou T. Joseph. Brian Patrick Junty. Natine Carnani. Michael Roy Kennison. George Ellis Carrick. Elizabeth A. Kiedrowski. Keith Michael Kiefer. Chelsea Joe Kimpton. Matthew Robert Cly. Nathan John Klinkhammer. Trevor Conrad Knight. Andy S. Coe. Michael Thomas Konnebeck. Jason M. Cryer. Nathan F. Lewis. Christina Sharp LeBaire. Greg Libermont. Rochelle Joy Lilligard Lorton. Richard Lovelace. Kathleen Luthner. Kathleen Merle Mahowald. Michelle L. Mengen. Kyle Robert Markward. Ryan G. Matt. Sean Stephen Maddox. Quentin C. McGruder. Mandy Lee McLean. Lisa Gwen Meyer. Tammy Mihalidis. Scott Bernard Moorman. Jody Mosquera. Stephanie Ann Moy. Robert Mueller. Michael Murray. Paul Bernard Nave. Brent Dean Ness. Ghulam Abbas Noorani. Erin Suzanne Olson. Jacqueline Uwusu Mensah. Jennifer Parrish Spielman. Stephanie J. Pahachik. Eric J. Pemberton. Blair Douglas Plackner. Lori Elizabeth Prefer. Kristen Marie Quayle. Christine. Gail M. Rayburn. Tara Nicole Rash. Jeannie Elizabeth Redman. Keith William Ryerson. Chad Allen Ressler. Mirati Morales. Bibek Mandahar. Brent David Romanesco. Ethan Michael Root. Molly Lynn Rolls. Lourdes H. Sanchez. Claire Schaefer. Erica K. Sherman. Mary Lou Schmidtke. Kristen Marie Schneider. Jason Gerald Schomer. Stacy Lee Selness. Michael Kevin Sevchek. Ali Schumann. Jill Nicole Slater. Kristen M. Sabota. Holly Jessica Stang Williams. Adam Robert Streeter. Ryan M. Strozik. John Wallace Swenson. Kazia Ann Thiel. Kathleen Mall Thomas. January M. Thompson. Jessica Janice Thorson. Zachary Thomby. Kelsey Tegas. Katrina Titzi. Latanya Tomlinson. Michael Everett Toole. Tuwin Tron. Matthew Thomas Trapp. Morgan Lee Trainer. Ryan M. Treble. James Daniel Turi. Neha Tiaji. Lamar Tyler. Pamela Vandeveld. April Carolyn Vassaw. Dustin John Veldkamp. Carmen Lee Ventrucci Peterson. Brock Vestrum. Usman Wahid. Todd Jeffrey Wiebeck. Anne-Hélène Yvon. Laura Ann Wagner. Michael George Wagner. Dana Marie Wace. Chris Plunkett Wangan. Nathan Daniel Wassenberg. Michael Joseph Wayman. Amanda Jean Weidenbach. Jill Wyrock. Megan Weir. Jeffrey Will. Christine Marie Williams. Preston William Wilson. Eric Jason Winter. Vonnie Weenie. Lucas Lee Woodland. Chris Edward Worthington. Judy Z. Wright. Eric Zakovich. Tara Marie Ziegelmeyer. I now invite Dr. Jack Militello, Director of the Executive and Healthcare UST MBA programs, to come to the podium.
I have the honor to present to the President of the University the candidates for the degree Master of Business Administration, Executive UST MBA. Danielle Marie Barr. Andrew Michael Campion. Julie Frazier. Chrysalia Freeman. Thomas Joseph Hunyon. Annie Lamoran. Jennifer C. Miller. Comte René Barzon de Jouy. James Richard Seidel. Michael Patrick Stefik. Nina Swendon. Chaco Thomas. Ryan Mark Thomas. Aaron John Tippy. I now invite Dr. Michael Porter, Director of the Master of Business Communication program, to come to the podium. Hit me.
Well, I have the honor to present to the President of the University the candidates for the degree Master of Business Communication. Mohammed Mansour Al-Zahar. Regina Rose Archer. Jennifer Ann Balo. Timothy Stephen Brandt. Carly Burns. Amanda K. Burns. Brett Carlson. Angela Errett. Mary Roy Fisher. Emily Elizabeth Hughes. Aaron N. Johnson. Catherine Elizabeth Kaufman. Sarah Jean Case. Lisa Marie Kissel. Christine J. Clocker. Brian C. Marks. Mary Boonmye Natsvang. Nicole Marie Peterson. Colleen Marie Ripley. Amanda Ruth Sanford. Sheena Lee Sayre. Adam Michael Summers. Marie Therese Tupy. Amanda Marie Huneke Wagner. Samantha Elizabeth Weir. I now invite Ms. Christine Shirachman, Director of the Master of Science in Accountancy program, to come to the podium.
I have the honor to present to the President of the University the candidates for the degree Master of Science in Accountancy. Kiran Teshoma Bakela. Andra J. Belland. Mark Joseph Brown. Alexander James Bush. Brandon William Graffender. Will James Grimius. Kendra Joy Leadholm. Drew Philip Moyer. Michael William Munger. Roland Ngwa Ndabu. Megan Neskoviak. Brett A. O'Brien. Eric Thomas Olson. Thomas N. Perkins. Catherine Lynn Plazinski. Michael Joseph Pohl. Brian Ronald Ruggiero. Jordan Michael Seebach. Matthew Thomas Sexton. Jordan L. Streeter. John Ryan Twaddle. I now invite Dr. Michael Porter to come to the podium once again.
I have the honor to present to the President of the University the candidates for the degree Master of Science in Real Estate. Karen Dayette Brooks. Annalisa Caravao. Daniel Christopher Dekas. Timothy Patrick Lawrence. Henry Ndwala. Thomas Joseph Ryan. Dustin Courtney Sayer. Stephanie Marie Shearer. Andrew Scott Webb. Roger W. Zopfi, Jr.
I now have the honor to present to the President of the University the candidates for degrees in course. Will all the candidates for the degree Master of Business Administration please stand? Will all the candidates for the degree Master of Business Communication please stand? Will all the candidates for the degree Master of Science please stand? Father President, these candidates have been duly examined and recommended by the faculty. I therefore ask that you bestow upon them the degree in course.
By virtue of the recommendation of the faculty and the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I, Dennis Deese, President of the University of St. Thomas, confer upon you a master's degree from the University of St. Thomas with all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. Congratulations.
One more time, ladies and gentlemen, it is my great pleasure to present to you the graduates of the University of St. Thomas Opus College of Business Master's Class of 2012. Well done, graduates. And now all you new master's degree holders can be seated, please. Today marks a significant milestone in your lives, and we are very, very proud of each one of you. As you graduate from St. Thomas Opus College of Business with your master's degree, you may be confident that no matter what challenges you encounter, you will know what to do and how to do it. You are well prepared to succeed in an ever-changing workplace, and no one from any school can boast a more comprehensive education than you take with you tonight. Throughout your studies, you have benefited from a curriculum that is a careful blend of theory and practice. Theory, to give you diagnostic insights that enable you to quickly and accurately solve problems, and practice, to enable you to effectively execute these solutions. Each of you has also benefited from the truly global nature of the Opus College of Business. We see evidence of the diversity of our student body in the flags from 11 different nations: Cameroon, China, Côte d'Ivoire, France, Germany, India, Kenya, Nepal, Pakistan, the Republic of Korea, and Venezuela. The experience you gained working side by side with colleagues whose backgrounds may differ from yours will be invaluable as you move into the next stage of your lives. You have also benefited from a close association with our faculty, a carefully assembled blend of world-class academics from the finest doctoral programs and seasoned, accomplished professionals from the business world. Together, they bring leading-edge concepts and the real world of business and technology to the classroom. These passionate teacher scholars give you the competitive edge you need for success in your chosen careers. They are supported by a dedicated and talented professional staff who have been with you day and night to help you navigate our rigorous and challenging programs. I ask that you please join me now as I invite our faculty and staff to stand and be recognized for their roles in preparing you for this great future. Will the faculty and staff please stand? While each of our faculty brings a deep commitment to their roles as teachers and mentors, two of them have been especially recognized by their peers. as the best of the best. In 2007, we lost one of our finest faculty colleagues to a tragic and unexpected illness. And our faculty created the Julie M. Hayes Award for Teaching Excellence to forever remind us of her gift. The 2011 recipient of this award for Teaching Excellence is Professor James Chauvin, a clinical professor of finance. Jim, will you please stand so that we can all recognize and congratulate you on this accomplishment? Early in 2011, we also lost one of our leading teachers, researchers, and faculty mentors, Dr. Susan Heckler. To honor her contributions as a scholar, mentor, and colleague, the faculty established the Susan E. Heckler Research Excellence Award. The first recipient of this award is Dr. Avinash Malchi, Associate Professor of Marketing. Avinash, I also invite you to stand and receive our congratulations. Now, I would be extremely remiss if I did not recognize one other group of dedicated people who also helped to make this evening possible. While you students were studying for exams, working on projects, and agonizing over countless assignments, your spouses, partners, parents, and children were doing their part to provide moral support, to lend an extra hand with household chores, and to offer broad, comforting shoulders when needed to see you through those rough times. Graduates, please turn and join me in thanking all those who helped you overcome the countless challenges you faced while in our program. Hardly a day goes by that some wise person doesn't remark that we live in uncertain times, economically, politically, environmentally. Yet, as I look back over the many, many years of my own life, I cannot remember a time that wasn't uncertain, or perhaps we always live in uncertain times. But success in such a complex and turbulent environment requires preparation, innovation, and commitment. Every aspect of our graduate programs has been designed to prepare you for such an environment, to recognize opportunities and turn them into successes, to embrace the power of diverse perspectives when charting new directions. Your degree represents a significant investment of your time and your resources, and as should any good investment, it will increase in value over time. It already has in the years since you took your first class. When you enrolled in your degree program, we were unaccredited by AACSB and unranked. Last year, we achieved AACSB accreditation in our first attempt. And this year, U.S. News and World Report ranked us number 104, which places us in the top 25% of AACSB accredited master's programs. Confirmation of the quality, relevance, and impact of your education. I pledge our commitment to enhance the value of your degree by continuously improving the already powerful reputation of the Opus College of Business, here in this region and wherever your career takes you. In return, I ask only two things of you. The first is simply to do your best as you take on life's professional challenges. This commitment to excellence is a unifying characteristic of all St. Thomas graduates, and from today forward, you represent us in everything you do. My second request is that you stay connected with us wherever you are. We have more than 17,000 graduate business alumni in all 50 states and in 6 of the world's 7 continents. The power of this network lies in the commitment each of you makes to sharing your successes and your accumulated wisdom with these and with those who will follow you and sit in the seats in years to come. If you do these two things, the value of your degree will have no limits, and you will have done your part to ensure that St. Thomas remains a shining beacon for all who aspire to make our world a better place to live and work. Earlier in this ceremony, I shook your hand and gave you a symbol of your hard-earned degree. But as you leave us tonight, you take far more than a mere piece of paper. You take with you a level of expertise, knowledge, and skill that will enable you to positively impact any organization, including those of your own making. Just as importantly, you take with you the confidence, good judgment, and commitment to make a positive difference as a principled leader in your community, whether that community is here in Minnesota, across the nation, or around the world. You know that profit is the reward for being a good business, not merely the goal at any cost. Indeed, you are now poised to be the embodiment of this college's mission, effective, principled business leaders who think globally, act ethically, and create enduring value for society. I wish you great success and Godspeed. The Reverend Eric Rutten, Director of Campus Ministry, will give us a benediction. After the benediction, the Air Force ROTC Detachment Choir will lead us in the Alma Mater, which you will find near the end, next to the last page of your program tonight. The choir will sing the first stanza, and all of us will join in the second stanza. As the close of our ceremony, the platform party and the faculty will lead the recession, followed by the graduates. The ceremony is now concluded. Please remain in your places with those on the stage until those on the stage and the graduation party have left. You can meet your graduates in the Anderson Student Center right after the ceremony. Now, please stand for the benediction and the singing of the Alma Mater.
Thank you, Dean Puto, and congratulations to our graduates, to our faculty, to our families, congratulations. On such an important night, it's important to thank our God, and it's important also to ask for God's grace, God's wisdom, God's presence as we go forward. God of life and love, in the mystery of life and of the mystery of your providence, you have called us to join the University of St. Thomas. We give you thanks for the opportunity to be here, for the gift of time and resources for studies. We thank you for all the opportunities to grow and develop in mind, body, and spirit. We thank you for the gift of each and every member of our community, our administration, faculty, staff, fellow students, but especially our graduating students. We have been abundantly blessed by their presence. Loving God, we ask you now to bless them as they begin their new adventure in life. Send your Spirit upon them in a special way. Help them to see their work as a true vocation to bring justice and peace into our world. Give them always a desire for the splendor of truth and for charity of heart. Guide them each and every day. Fill them with your wisdom and blessings. And bless us all in all our ways. Make us people of truth, goodness, and love. And bless all those who are not as fortunate as we, those without food, or shelter, or family, or friends. Grant that in our lives we may always serve the most in need. Amen.
Let us sing her lasting fame. Oh,